What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a Chi-Town Blitz episode. Me and my co-host Jay Huff, we here today to break down the latest with the Chicago Bears and look at the future of the Chicago Bears 7-3 team. A lot to talk about. How are we doing today, Jaden?
And I'm blessed.
Always blessed when the Bears could get a dub. Used to pray for times
Extremely.
like this, for real. Needed this. But, the Bears are coming off a big win against Minnesota. Let's start there. Let's start by breaking that down. What were some of your key takeaways from this game, biggest losers from this game? All your thoughts about the Bears' victory.
Man, it was a game that looked eerily similar to week 1 against
Way too
the same
similar.
team. And luckily we had a little bit more time on the clock this time around to punch it
Yeah.
in and finish the game. So I'm super pleased with the defensive performance. You saw JJ try to get something going there at the end, but they were for the most part sealed it up. Super proud of how they attacked the run. And the only things I would say, like things we need to improve on, we played a really good defense in Brian Flores, but we're still struggling in the red zone. If we
Yeah.
score a touchdown, at least one more touchdown, we pretty much put the game away earlier, and we don't have to deal with another fifth game comeback situation.
Seems like they wanted that though. This team, Caleb, they wanted that shit. But in the red zone, yeah, we had too many situations where we were opting for a field goal. And one of the times we weren't in the red zone, but Cairo missed a 40-yard field goal, I believe. It's nice that he got that opportunity to, avenge that. But yeah, we got to be able to get things going. We can't put up just 17 points in this game, or was it 16 points we had? Yeah, that's not enough to beat the good teams. For against Philly, against the Packers, Detroit, we gotta be able to convert in the red zone. I think Roma Dunze, Loveland, those kind of guys have to be somebody you're going to. Mananga's been nice in the red zone with his being the bigger back that's going to put it in, the more physical back opposed to Swift. So I like that, but just want to see the Bears convert more in those situations. Some big winners from this game. I think this is a good Nashawn Wright game. I thought he played pretty well in this one. Got that nice interception. And I don't know if his coach from JUCO passed away. Beam. I don't know if you watched his Netflix stuff, the Last Chance U stuff. It was really good. But he just passed away, and I guess this was like a real important figure in that guy's life and Nashawn Wright's life. So it's a nice emotional win for him. But I thought we saw some good things from him in terms of coverage. Justin Jefferson, the receivers for the Vikings really didn't see too much great production from them as, the Bengals put up against us. Maybe that's on JJ, but I thought the secondary did a better job in this game. And yeah, Nashawn Wright, 4 interceptions on the season now.
Man, he's been hooping, so hats off to him.
Yeah,
And
great bounce
yeah,
back game.
P's and P's to those that lost. What I hear was, a pillar of the community and just, foundational in a lot of young men's lives. So we've all had a great coach like that. Hate to see him go, but definitely proud of Nashawn Wright and the step he took this game. Hard to judge it holistically just because JJ was so ass.
He was bad.
Like, god damn.
Yeah, he was missing
I
a lot of
thought
wide open
Caleb was
throws.
inaccurate, but this guy was just all over the place.
Yeah, he didn't
You could
look
just
right.
tell he was just throwing it hard every time and just there was no touch at all.
I know
And
you
yeah,
remember you heard Brady say, "Sometimes you don't need to throw it 100 miles per hour."
yeah, and he made that point, I feel like, with both quarterbacks during the broadcast. And that's definitely something Caleb needs to work on as well. There was a few deep shots early in the game. If we connect on those, maybe opens things up a little bit more.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking for Caleb. Luckily, we got the win, but we got to continue to improve as the competition ramps up because this was like I feel like it's been slowly but surely creeping up in terms of the competition level, and now we have a slightly better team at 6-4 coming in So got to get a dub.
We thought, them doing the late game heroics and stuff, it was going to sneak up on them in this game. It was nice that it wasn't. Uh, I like the idea of it being a different game ball every week. Like every week, there's a different person that's showing up. I like that. I would prefer, Caleb win more of these games for us. But this run game, I thought was another huge winner. DeAndre Swift, 90 yards rushing. I think he had 21 carries. Monangai had a couple good plays. There was times where Swift was on the sideline because Monangai was giving us a little more physicalness and a little more toughness with his runs. So I think this run game is solidified. This is like the second best rushing attack in the NFL. It's nice that we have this run game to lean on as Caleb's still continuing to build on, what type of player, what type of quarterback he's going to be. And yeah, it's just been nice to have this run game. The interior offensive line's been really good with, blocking Joe Tooney, Drew Dahlman. Drew Dahlman's been like one of the best centers in the NFL this year by the numbers and stuff. So I think this run game's been really good. Swift, I think he's going to touch 1,000 yards. Like I like what I'm seeing from that group. Just need this offense with Caleb. Just need to hit the accuracy. Once it gets there, this offense is going to be legit.
Yeah, and you saw Caleb's confidence grow. He looked a little bit more decisive. He definitely made a few guys miss in the pocket. A few he couldn't make, but I didn't see a play where he got like that. Oh, that um, intentional grounding because he's doing too much, or that 15-yard sack in terrible situations. So he's cleaning up the mistakes. Now it's just like connecting on those deep balls, pause, and really, really just having more consistency from a completion percentage perspective. But I like what I've seen from him. I definitely see the steps continuing to grow. And you even seen down the stretch now that we do have a dominant run game, we could just lean on that when Caleb gets
Yeah.
a little erratic or he feels like, I feel like at the end of the game, Ben Johnson just was like, hey, let's just run it. And we are able to do that and get the win. So anytime you can nut up and run the ball when the defense knows you're about to run it, and still get 8 yards to seal the win, definitely pleased with that performance.
Yeah, I mean the game-winning drive, it was just all DeAndre Swift carries. Hats off to the special teams because special teams was horrible in this game up until when it needed to be great. Cairo hit the game-winning field goal. Devin Duvernay had a 56-yard return to set us in position to win this football game. So I think the special teams finally rose to the occasion. Happy to see Cairo get that kind of confidence kick, that, game winner situation. Because Jake Moody, I don't know if you saw, he just got signed off our practice squad. He's going to the Commanders, so we no longer have that in our back pocket. But so yeah, Cairo just building that confidence. It's nice that Ben Johnson trusted him too. It felt like, all right, we're gonna put this game in Kyler Santos' hands, and it didn't feel like how Eberflus was doing it, where Eberflus was like, we're not going to try any further. He's going to hit it from 50 yards, even though we know that's out of his range. We got in Cairo's range. Go win us this game for us. We trust you. And Cairo did. So like that. What were some things in this game? Like, what are some players that you thought, you want to see a little more from other than Caleb? Like a loser in this game.
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like it's hard to say. I would say definitely Cairo's got to hit that kick that he missed. Especially in a dome. Like, come on, man, perfect conditions. You got to hit that to get up 2 possessions, and we're not even having this conversation. Even though he made up for it at the end, I'm pleased with that. But yeah, I think the receiving core as a whole could have been a lot better.
Yeah. We had some drops
I'm
too. I
tired
think.
of seeing the drops
Yeah.
is the biggest concern. And you see this around the league. I don't know about you, but watching ESPN throughout the day, they were complaining about drops from a lot of different teams
Yeah.
from Sunday. So I don't know what's in the air, but niggas need to start catching the ball. DJ dropped one, almost dropped two. Luther Burden dropped one. That should have been an easy
That was a
one.
bad
So
drop. Yeah. Yeah. That one was like, people are like, all right, Luther, we wanted to give you more opportunity. You got to show up. You can't be dropping the ball like this. Which, it's kind of tough break for bro. He got more snaps in this game. I think he had 33 snaps to Alameda Zacchaeus' 10 snaps. So I mean, we'll see. Hopefully that continues to grow for him. But yeah, I agree. The weapons, the playmakers, you got to make more plays. Roma Dunze, these guys, you got to make your presence felt. You got to help your quarterback out as much as he's got to, make these throws. And when the ball is in reach, catch that motherfucker. uh,
Right, you already know half of them are gonna be incomplete, so we can't have drops on top of that because that
yeah.
would look just crazy in the stat sheet.
I thought this pass rush, they kind of did. There was a couple plays where they were forcing JJ on some poor throws. Sweat.
Mhm.
Booker had a long arm rep where he put Darisaw in the fucking dirt. Again, another game where he's putting a really good. Not well, Darisaw's a really good tackle, but Orlando Brown Jr. is kind of about mid-average. Putting tackles in the fucking ground. Really like that. But I wanted to see this pass rush get home a little more. With our defense being banged up, I thought the defense played pretty well for the most part of this game. Lockdown, except for, giving that drive to JJ McCarthy at the end. So really encouraged by the defense still. Still want this defensive line to get home and, make their presence felt, get a couple more sacks.
Yeah, we gotta see the defense ramp up. Hopefully, guys can get healthier
That's
as the
something I
season
want to talk about.
progresses,
Yeah.
but
Whatchamacallit, I saw some injury news. I could bring it up right now. Uh, and it's pretty encouraging. Now, three guys. So the injury news by Ben Devine, shout out him with covering Chicago Bears. Jalen Johnson is practicing, could be back either Sunday or Black Friday, the next two
whoa,
games, because he was questionable the last game. Obviously, that's
right.
probably by technicality or whatever, but he looks like he's probably going to be ready these next two games back sooner than later. TJ Edwards is pushing to be back this week, which would be huge because Noah Sewell, he's making a lot of tackles, but sometimes he's a liability.
Man.
And then Kyler Gordon is eligible to practice this week, could be back within the next 2 weeks, this week or Black Friday as well. So they're going to be cautious with him, but Kyler Gordon, TJ Edwards, and Jalen Johnson back on this defense, I think we'll be elite then.
No question. And I think that's something people aren't really talking about is how depleted our defense has been all
Yeah.
year. They love to talk about how we are not a contender, we're a pretender, but everybody else gets credit for their injuries except for
That
us.
yeah,
Like what the fuck? It's
right.
never brought up, which obviously, we're just showing up on the scene, so some of these national media members might not be as integrated in the day to day, but like, come
Yeah.
on, man.
Give us our,
Our
credit too.
best players are out on defensively.
We lead the NFL in takeaways, and Jalen Johnson hasn't played, but week one. So think about it, bro. It's crazy when you think about it. The top three players in interceptions, Jermaine Edmonds with 4, Nashawn Wright with 4, Kevin Byard with 5. That's all Chicago Bears, 3 of them. It's crazy. And this is, like I said, without your shutdown corner, one of the best corners in the NFL not too long ago was a second team All Pro. Imagine adding him into the mix and then Kyler Gordon, our second best corner. We're doing this with a motherfucker, 4 interceptions from Nashawn Wright, and he was signed before damn near before training camp. So just great. This defense, Dennis Allen, I think he's legit. He's been as good, well, maybe not as good as Ben Johnson, but he's had a similar impact with changing this defense, getting the most out of them. You see a lot of players on this defense that are taking it to another level. So I'm very encouraged by this defense. But I would want him to get an extension done with, Keenan Allen. I would want him to stay with the Chicago Bears for maybe 2 or 3 more years because he's coming off his best season last year with the Chargers.